Oh, man. Just had to scarf down my lunch. Oh, shit. Some kind of barbecue sauce, I think, for that chicken. Oh, man, that was so good, though. Oh, yeah. That hit the spot. Oh, wait, I can go live on Blue Sky now. I forgot. Let's see. Oh, God, I am full. You know how you sometimes eat too much and you just feel like Jabba the Hutt? You just want to tell him to bring you solo in the Wookiee? Just, oh, Oompa Chingba Woomba Ziwa Solo. Ho, 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 ha, 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 ha. That's me right now, man. What is my password? Hmm. All right. There we go. Boy, Blue Sky password thing fucking sucks. Okay, let's see. So I can go live now, right? Go live. Yeah, 1 hour. I have no idea if that's going to work. This is the first time. Hope you guys don't mind being my guinea pig. Okay, so then pop out tab for Facebook. We're getting better at this, people. Not really. I just like to pretend I'm making progress. So, Jeff Bezos the Bezos is in the news, completely embarrassing himself, as billionaires constantly are known to do. Oh shit, I didn't have the right stream key for Instagram. Let's try this again. It's amazing the absolute amount of bootlicking. These are some of the richest people, and by definition, the most powerful people in the country and the world based on their wealth. And here they are, kowtowing and being Trump's cockholster. Knight K9, you're a fucking loser, by the way. Wait a minute, wait a minute. I gotta do a ha! There we go. Oops. There we go. Someone with a Russian name said hi. Hi to you as well. Zane Suzanne, welcome. I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna sneeze. I didn't sneeze. I always seem to sneeze right before I do these things. Oh my god. Fucking finally. Zane, Donna Hicks, welcome. How are you all? Knight, you didn't start a debate. You came into a fucking chat room and made an ass of yourself. If you wanted to start a debate, you could say, Jeff Bezos is good, and here's why. But you didn't, because you have the fucking, as you guys love to talk about IQ levels, you have the IQ of a fucking guppy. So speaking of people with IQs of a fucking guppy, let's talk about Jeff fucking Bezos, shall we? This goddamn clown.
When I last interviewed you, it was about 2 years ago, President Trump had just won. He was not the president yet. And I'd asked you what you thought of him at the time. And you said that you thought that he had mellowed, that he was calmer.
Yeah.
That he had mellowed. You know how much your head has to be up Trump's ass to think Trump has mellowed out? He's still rage poop tweeting 50 tweets between 11 p.m. and 4 in the fucking morning. He's gone full fascist. He's now not even bothering with any pretext of trying to give a reason of why he should pillage the treasury, and he's just doing it to enrich himself. And these fucking clowns are saying that he's tamed? I mean, it's just unbelievable what these morons are saying. You're just mad he's bald and yet a billionaire? I'm mad because he's a criminal, and the only thing he's ever gotten is through stealing it from people who actually work for a living. You wouldn't know about that. Or by getting a $250,000 loan from his parents. Night K9, do you have $250,000 that your parents can loan you? No, of course you don't. So why are you in here defending a dude who would happily piss on your grave and then step over it where you work on his factory? You understand that, right? You understand how stupid it is to be defending this guy who doesn't even know you exist? You are nothing but a fucking rounding error to his checking account, and yet you're in here defending him.
And I'm curious now, here we are.
Yeah, I still think that.
2 years later,
yeah,
we've had lots of we have wars and tariffs and all sorts.
And so he doubles down. He says he still thinks that Trump has created more wars than any president in such a short span of time, with the exception of maybe FDR, because, you know, World War fucking II. And he's still doubling down. Billionaires are not smart people. I have spent a long time around billionaires, millionaires, rich people, and they are some of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. They will call you from the hotel room phone and say that their phone is not working while they call from the room phone.
Things that have happened since then. What do you think?
I think he has. I mean, I'm comparing him to his first term, and I think he is.
Also, is it just me or does he look different? Like, is this the Bezos doppelganger clone that they got? Because the real one is like getting a blood transfusion from goats in his hibernatic chamber. This does not look like the Jeff Bezos that I saw at the wedding. Is this just the AI slop of him? Like he couldn't actually be there because he's too busy performing his satanic rituals in his fucking bunker basement? So then they just sent like a hologram of him, like the Emperor in Star Wars. He's like, yes, I still think that Trump has mellowed, much mellowed from before. Like, who the fuck is this guy? That ain't Jeff Bezos.
A more mature, more disciplined version of himself than he was in his first term. And, you know,
I'm sorry, I can't get over it. Again, these people are the richest people, some of the most powerful people on the planet, and they're here just being Trump's free throat. It's ridiculous. Like, these are people who, like, want to talk so big and so bold. Like, Jeff Bezos swings his tiny fucking microcock around whenever it becomes a union fight or a contract with his employees. But then when it comes to Trump, suddenly he compresses himself and finds a way to go right up Trump's sphincter.
He's, again, I've worked with all the presidents. I will work with all the presidents, you know, and I hope to do that going forward if they'll have me. But we need our business leaders to provide input into the administration, regardless of who the president is.
And the thing is, he's not wrong there. Like, you do need businesses. Look, Jeff Bezos is a criminal and in the Epstein files, so probably a pedophile. But the thing is that the business community does have a role to play, a much smaller role compared to that of the workers. But they do have valuable feedback that they can provide. The problem is that Bezos is a sycophantic fucking bootlicker. He's not going to give any of the actual news that Trump needs to hear, that his war is causing a huge fucking bubble in our deficit, that it's creating a huge inflation problem, which is actually good for Bezos. This is how this criminal got rich in the first place, was by jacking up prices because mommy and daddy were able to pay him off to do so. These billionaires get rich off of inflation. So now you have the whole problem with the economy, which is as inflation goes up, billionaires get richer and Americans get poorer. So they could give good, valuable feedback. They're like, hey, this inflation is hurting my employees. It's hurting our customers. It's hurting our revenue base. But they don't do that because they're blinded by fucking greed. He also doesn't know your existence, by the way. I'm not here trying to get Bezos' attention. You are. I'm here trying to tell everyone, the people, that Bezos is a fucking probably pedophile since he's in the Epstein files, and he is nothing like what we have been told to be. He is a moron. He's a hack. He's a fraud. He has benefited only from nepotism, blue bloodism, and stealing from the people who have actually created his wealth.
I'm not on the side. You know what? I'm on the side of America.
Oh, fuck off.
And that is so important. Like, and that's where business leaders should be.
This fucking shit-eating smirk. You can tell that even he doesn't believe this crap. But they say it anyways because they gotta be the free throat for Trump.
It's just,
And do you think they're not?
No, I think we are, but we get perceived as being like, partisan or whatever. Like, I was helping Obama every chance I could. I was helping.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Biden every chance I could.
No, he wasn't.
Obama for advice.
No, you don't.
He's a very smart guy, and and by the way, people that are. Trump has lots of good ideas, and he's been right about a lot of things. You have to give him credit where credit is due.
JCP Jazzbay says billionaires destroy people for their wealth. That's exactly correct. JP, I hope you hang around in this stream for a little bit because I got the exact data to show exactly what you're talking about.
He's been right about a lot of things. You have to give him credit where Trump has lots of good ideas, and he's been right about a lot of things. You have to give him credit where credit is due.
Trump has lots of good ideas. This is the guy that wanted to nuke a hurricane. This is a guy who didn't think that Iran would close the Strait of Hormuz. This is a guy that is now pocketing $1 billion in taxpayer money for a ballroom that's never going to actually get built. It's going to be made out of plastic and ceramics held up by fucking toothpicks, while he gets to take his $1 billion payout from the Republican pedophile crime party and expand Mar-a-Lago. These people, it never ceases to amaze me how these billionaires are completely just so uncharismatic, so visually unappealing, and just bad fucking speakers. What was this? What was this little...
To give him credit where credit is due.
Let me pivot.
Is he a fucking lizard? He probably is. Lizard people, right? So he went on to say this about the Melania movie.
To all this, and this goes to the Washington Post piece of it and just the influence and money piece of it.
Yeah.
And it relates to the President of the United States.
Yeah.
And there is a view among critics that say that part of what you have done or are doing is trying to placate the President with either the sort of shift in the tone of what's happening at the paper, or even some of the things at Amazon, the decision to make the documentary around Melania, for example.
Yes, the Melania thing is a falsehood that will not die.
Okay.
So I see reported all the time that that somehow I was involved in this, and we did this at this Mar-a-Lago dinner.
Everybody thinks that you went to Mar-a-Lago.
Not true.
Not true.
We have denied it. Melania's office has denied it. It's not true. I had nothing to do with that. By the way, it appears it was a good business decision.
Oh, shit.
It did very well in theaters. It's done very well on streaming. People are very curious about Melania. So even though I had nothing to do with it, it appears that the Amazon team made a very wise business decision. I also had nothing to do with Project Hail Mary, which I regret because it's an incredible success. I wished I had greenlit that.
Right.
But I didn't. And so, Amazon's a big company. It makes a lot of decisions. But no, this idea that that somehow that is a way of buying influence is just not correct. I can see why people say this. And by the way, the same thing at the Post. I want the Post's opinion section to stand for free markets. Kind of what I've been talking to you about today.
Jeff Bezos does not believe in free markets. He is a monopolist. He has consistently bought out his competition. He has consistently stifled opposition. And of course, he has destroyed the working class of the people that work for him. He is not a free market thinker in the slightest.
Markets and individual...
Free markets has become the fucking calling card. It's the virtue signaling of like, hey, look, other Republicans, I'm also a full of shit douchebag, but if we just form a tight circle and keep saying it in unison, other people will believe it. Free markets. It's like that scene in The Mummy where like, Emotep, as he tries to blend in with the crowd. That's what's happening with the Republicans when it comes to free markets.
Personal liberties. I think those are founding pillars of America. It's one of the reasons that America has been so successful. We have an incredible history.
Jeff Bezos has gotten old in the last 6 months. I know, dude. This does not look like the Jeff Bezos that I saw at the Venice wedding, which was, like you said, like, what, 6 months ago? Maybe a little bit more? But also this whole bullshit about the Melania documentary, it was a complete fucking disaster. It consistently showed 0 people buying tickets. The only places where it was showing full sold tickets were empty ones because Bezos had to buy it himself so that it could look like it was being successful. That's one hell of a name. Guess who farted? Okay. So you're on a platform owned and operated by Amazon, which is using the AD best on their stream. Same cloud as defense contracts with the DoD, DOJ, IDF, and over 20 other militaries. Does that make you sort of a hypocrite? Guess who? If there was options, I would use them. But the problem is that the billionaire pedophile class, like Jeff Bezos, Musk, etc., have monopolized, as I was just saying. So there are no other options. You guys in the free market love to talk about free market, have other options. What fucking other options do we have? Every fucking tech company out there is funding the genocide in Gaza. Every fucking tech company out there is owned and operated by someone somewhere along the lines who's in the Epstein files. There are no choices. You guys love to have freedom and choice and markets to go to, and yet there's no fucking options. The same way, oh, you're a socialist, you're a communist, you must love, then why do you use an iPhone? Because there's nothing fucking else. If we want to get our message out there, we have to use the tools that the capitalist class has given us. If there were other options, we would use them. And yet you guys say capitalism is so great, and all it's given us is massive debt for the consumer class, for working class people, and billionaires gaining more and more money, so much money you can't even sue them as a penalty because they make up any judgment within 30 seconds of it being said. All these stupid rich people eat humans. Yeah, well, we saw that with the Epstein files. So you're mad about the hypocrisy. Oh, okay, you have a hearing problem along with your stupidity. Got it, guess who farted. I can't believe someone whose name is Guess Who Farted would be stupid. Figuratively and literally. Yeah, well, we keep seeing that with the Epstein files, which Bezos is in, by the way. We have never found out the extent to his involvement in the Epstein files, but he is mentioned frequently. So was he eating the children, or was he just raping them? What was Bezos' involvement? And of course, he's not going to get asked that by CNBC.
And Elizabeth Warren has made this point repeatedly. I think she's made it in reference to you and others. Are able to pay a lower tax rate, even though you're paying an enormous sum in taxes, a lower tax rate than maybe I am.
These people sometimes say that I don't pay taxes. That's not true. I pay billions of dollars in taxes.
This is horseshit. He has a lower tax rate individually and as a corporation. Will Eval81, welcome, than your average fucking school teacher.
And it's a perfect, again, if people want me to pay more billions, right, then let's have that debate. But don't pretend,
We're having that debate, and your answer is no, and I'm going to buy out any politician that does. This goes back to Guess Who Farted's point that, like, oh, well, but the free market's the capitalism choice. Aren't you just a hypocrite for participating? Am I a hypocrite for participating in the argument in saying that billionaires should not fucking exist? No, because all that happens, we don't have any other options. Because this guy goes and buys out every other fucking politician. He's bought out Becerra. He's bought out Kamala. He'll buy out every single fucking politician because that's how much money they have. And the only fucking way we'll ever get out of this massive hole that we have of these billionaires controlling everything is if they are taxed and jailed and punished.
That's going to solve the problem. You could double the taxes I pay, and it's not going to help that teacher in Queens.
The taxes literally go to pay for schools. This is what I'm talking about. These billionaires are propped up by the media to be so smart and so eloquent and so well thought out. And here this moron is saying, double my taxes, it's not going to go to pay for the teacher in Queens. That's literally what we want. The only potential truth that there is in that statement is the fact that the Republican pedophile party, which is currently in charge, would double his taxes, and then they would pocket it themselves, and then they would be the new billionaire class. That's how this works. This system is corrupt and rotten to the core. So while all these MAGA pedophiles in my chat are bitching about me, yelling about Jeff Bezos, you guys are the ones getting screwed. I mean, you don't work for a living, so you're not getting screwed in that way, but you're still not getting your health care. You're still not getting your welfare. You're barely able to afford your fucking PlayStation 5 video games. And you're in here yelling at me when this is the guy behind the problems. Like, I can't convince you of that. You just have to keep suffering and eating literal fucking shit from Bezos's fucking golden toilet before you'll get the picture.
Promise you. So you can't connect those two things, not logically. There are more examples. Why is rent expensive?
And you notice there was no pushback from him. There's no like, wait a minute. Part of funding schools comes from taxes, meaning taxes you would pay, especially if you, wherever you live locally, the local taxes you pay, you would then go to fund schools. People, oh, this is going to be a good comment. People like Farted who say that we participate on the capitalist system seem to forget that the working class can't afford not to. Boom! This is why I need to get a soundboard. Vazi72, you hit the nail on the head there. What they engage in is corporate Marxism. Capitalism is for working people. Correct. They get corporate socialism. Fuck, was it JFK? No, it was MLK who said something like socialism for the rich, capitalism for the poor. Isn't that the term? I think it was.
Why is rent so expensive? I recently saw somebody blamed it on Airbnb.
Why is what?
Can't connect those two things, not logically. There are more examples. Why is rent expensive?
Rent.
Why is rent so expensive?
Because fucking capitalists like you are buying up all the fucking properties and raising the rent. It's happening all over in Los Angeles right now. We see buildings that have been around for a long time get knocked down, torn down, and then rather than being affordable housing, which they are required to do under LA City Code, it then gets knocked down and gentrified into luxury real estate, therefore pricing out everyone else in the area that's not already rent controlled. And the LA City Council, being corrupt-ass motherfuckers, including Nithya Raman, and especially Karen fucking Bass, are getting pocket change, and Hugo Soto Martinez are getting pocket change from all these real estate developers and getting side deals and paid under the fucking table to let them get away with it. They are required by law to provide rent control apartments, and they don't, because there's no inspections, there's no teeth to the law, and the Democrats who are supposed to be holding them accountable are taking their fucking bribes.
I recently saw somebody blamed it on Airbnb. Okay. Airbnb is not the cause of expensive rent. In fact, it's been almost, let me finish here 1 sec. It's already been outlawed in New York City, and rents are still very high. So we know Airbnb isn't causing high rents. What's really causing high rent is government intervention.
Government intervention, my ass. If you removed fucking rent control, prices would skyrocket. And this fucking human fucking hemorrhoid is trying to convince people that things like rent control are what's keeping prices high. That's horseshit. Because without rent control, the landlords would jack up the price as much as they fucking can, and then you would be forced to move out. They would sit with empty fucking apartments rather than full ones paying a lower rate, because the empty ones generate more in their fucking tax write-offs that they can get. That's how fucking corrupt the system is. This is a literal fucking fact. So many of these real estate developers, these landlords, can get more money in tax deductions and tax breaks by leaving these apartments and complexes vacant rather than having them full up with low-income earners. He's just a face for a make-believe space program. God, you know what? I actually forgot Bezos has that space program, too. He and Musk are in a race to the moon of the least liked people on the fucking planet. Bernie's 5% wealth tax would raise starting teacher pay to $60,000, give $12,000 to a working family of 4, expand Medicaid for dental, vision, hearing, guarantee universal child care, and homelessness. So all these MAGA pedophiles that are in my chat, how does this not improve your material conditions? You don't want the teachers to get paid more? You don't want them to be able to go out and buy other products and thus boost the economy? You don't want the teachers to be more motivated to give your children a better education? You don't want? You guys are the ones talking about fertility rate. Go fucking get a family of 4 and you get $12,000. $12,000 fucking dollars. That goes a long ass way, and you guys would get, if you're poor, which all these Republican pedophiles in my chat are, because otherwise it's 3:30, they'd be at a fucking job. This would expand Medicare for dental, vision, and hearing. You guys would be covered. Guarantee universal child care. Imagine that, MAGA. You wouldn't have to fucking pay for child care. And child care is a massive expense right now, which is part of why the fucking fertility rate is so goddamn low. And you know what would happen in exchange for this? Bezos' wealth would drop from 279 to 265. Oh, $15 billion. Oh! And yet he's still a fucking centabillionaire, right? Centa means 100. Centabillionaire. the amount of fucking bootlicking and cope from the MAGA on the right trying to defend this fucking creepy looking son of a bitch who I still don't believe is actual Bezos. That is 100% a shapeshifter. How to show Bezos is a liar. He gets so much money from lower corporate and capital gains taxes than personal income. This is why his salary that he pays himself at Amazon is $81,000. Correct. And that typically those capital gains and whatnot are not taxed. So therefore, yet again, he pays less in taxes than your average school teacher. Crazy Life, welcome. So again, we see here that Bezos is trying to push up this narrative like, oh, I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem. And we keep seeing media, these bootlickers like the CNBC interview, give zero fucking pushback on it, when the reality is that Jeff Bezos has never worked a day in his fucking life. Jeff Bezos got his parents to invest nearly $250,000 in Amazon in '95. They might be worth $30 billion today. Bezos is the richest person alive. Keep in mind, this was written in 2018, so that's changed because of Musk. And Musk also got a fucking multi-thousand-dollar loan. I think it was actually a grant. Again, these are Nepo babies. These are not people of hard work. 1997 SEC file unearthed by Bloomberg Tuesday finds that Jackie and Mike Bezos invested $245,000 in Amazon in '95. If they kept their holdings, Bloomberg estimates their shares could be worth $30 billion today. Tell me, MAGA, do you have $250,000 to invest in your children? Do your parents have $250,000 to invest in you to build a program? What sense does this make? Why are you defending this guy? This guy didn't work. You guys love to pride yourself on how you're such hard fucking workers, so fucking prove it. Fucking prove it and show these blue bloods that they're nothing. Stop coming into my chat and siding with them when they are the fucking problem. Time for the government to take control of funding all state programs. Government to take control of funding all state programs. Do you mean the federal government? Because here's the sticky part of that, Jazz, is that we're seeing that right now with Trump cutting funds to certain programs, especially when it comes to education, science, and stuff. So when you have the federal government in charge of all of that, that opens the door for fascists to abuse. And we already know the Democrats aren't competent enough to do the opposite and take control of those state programs to make them better, right? Biden had the chance every single day of every moment of every waking second of his presidency to cancel student debt with a stroke of his fucking pen, and that would not be subject to oversight by the Supreme Court. And yet he chose not to. Corporate CNBC, corporate news bias media. I like that. So Jeff Bezos, again, should not be one of the richest people on the planet. He should not be giving this interview. Jeff Bezos should be in a jail cell. Amazon worker dies on warehouse floor in Oregon. Workers were told to keep going as body stayed put. Worker collapsed and died on the floor of an Amazon warehouse in Troutdale, Oregon on April 6th, and for more than an hour, employees say they were told to keep loading trucks as the body lay nearby. This is the ethos of Jeff Bezos. This is why his corporations and businesses are successful, because a human being dies, an employee dies, and people are told to just put their fucking head down and keep going. This is not the working ethics of a company that deserves to exist. This is the operation of a fucking sweatshop. And Jeff Bezos should be jailed. Were I to ever be elected, were I ever to run for office, I guarantee you I'm running on a platform of jailing all the billionaires and taxing them into fucking oblivion. Now, I would never win because these Epstein-class billionaires like Jeff Bezos, Musk, Zuckerberg, etc. would come out and donate against me, and the opponent would probably win, unless we could get a good message, unless we could actually get the people, which has happened before, but it's a very small possibility. And yet, that is what I would fucking run on. That is the fucking energy that we need right now. The first Democrat who actually runs consistently and in practice on jailing the billionaires and taxing them into a single fucking tax bracket will win a 50-state sweep. I'm telling you. He pays no tax. His company generates plenty of loss to cover his salary. There's that as well. They were forced to stay at work as a tornado bore down. Would a union have saved them? So this was in... Where's the date on this? Is it not dated? It's more than 4 years old. It doesn't say... Okay, well, whatever. Oh, here it is, 2021. So this is also why Jeff Bezos should be in jail. Why did 8 workers at a Kentucky candle factory and 6 workers at an Illinois Amazon warehouse die this week? They were killed when a powerful tornado destroyed their workplaces, but it wasn't really the storm that killed them, any more than a sailor forced to walk the plank is killed only by the waves. They were not random victims. They were sacrificed. We here in the most advanced nation on earth offered them up to the gods that we actually worship. I think this is an opinion piece. Yeah, it's an opinion piece. Why did they die? I wanted straight reporting, but this is fine. Why did they die? They died because they were inside their workplace in the path of the storm. They died because they did not leave work before disaster struck. And they did not leave work because they were allegedly... Okay, this is obviously great reporting, but I wanted the straight talk on it. Let's see. Where was this? This was in Kentucky. Candle factory. Tornado died. There we go. I think this one's... Oh, it's Fox? God damn it. I don't read some Fox crap. NBC. Okay. Lesser of two evils with NBC here. Here we go. Factory workers threatened with firing if they left before a tornado, employees say. At least 8 people died in the Mayfield Consumer Products candle factory. Its destruction has become a symbol of the tornado's ruinous power. As a catastrophic tornado approached the city Friday, employees of a candle factory, which would later be destroyed, heard the warning sirens and wanted to leave the building. But at least 5 workers said supervisors warned employees that they would be fired if they left their shift early. For hours, as word of the coming storm spread, as many as 15 workers beseeched managers to let them take shelter at their own homes, only to have their requests rebuffed, the workers said. Fearing their safety, some left during their shifts regardless of the repercussions. I want to know what happened to these folks. At least 8 people died in the Mayfield Consumer Products factory, which makes scented candles. The facility was leveled, and all that is left is rubble. Photos and videos of its widespread mangled remains have become symbols of the enormous destructive power of Friday's tornado system. Jesus, look at that. Just gone. Again, this is why Jeff Bezos, we need to have a political class that runs on jailing the billionaires. Who, like, Ted Bundy was a fucking idiot to go out and kill people by himself. All he had to do was form an LL fucking C. This is insane. Billionaires and corporate owners can literally get away with murder as long as they have a CEO next to their title. Bezos and Musk are nothing. There are Saudis that have way more wealth than both of them put together. The Saudis have more assets and potential wealth income, revenue streams, but Bezos is the richest man on the planet. I mean, you can hate... I'm sorry, not Bezos, Musk. You can hate Musk as much as you want, but the Saudis do not compare to him. And then this is also the same mentality that we see with Zuckerberg.
So in other news, I know layoffs are top of mind, but there were also some updates this week around and a question around employee device tracking. So can you share more on employee device tracking? I think the way that it was announced left folks with some...
Yeah. So, okay. Let's talk about what we're doing. Like Alex just said, going into what makes these AI models great, right? There's basically a few key ingredients. There's getting the research and the architecture good. There's having good infrastructure, which is both the quantity of compute, but like as important, if not more, is also just like how efficiently can you use it? How reliable is it? What is the quality of that? And then the third piece, which is in some ways, it's hard to say that any of these are more important than the other because they're all necessary, is effectively the data and what knowledge it learns. So we're in a phase where basically the AI models learn from watching really smart people do things. And if you're trying to get it to be able to do certain capabilities, having it be able to observe really smart people doing those things is very important. So there are a few examples of where we're trying to do this across the company, because one basic insight and hypothesis that we have is that a lot of data generation across the field is done by these like contract companies. I mean, Alex knows a bunch about this because he ran one before coming here. But in general, the average intelligence of the people who are at this company is significantly higher than the average set of people that you can get to do tasks if you're working through the contract.
I can't stand his voice. Let's just cut to the chase, shall we? All hands meeting on April 30th, Mark Zuckerberg tells employees he's training AI on them to ahead of mass layoffs. The AI models learn from watching really smart people do things. The average intelligence of the people who are in this company is significantly higher than the average set of people that you can get to do tasks. So if we're trying to teach models coding, for example, then having people internally build tools or solve tasks that help teach the model how to code, we think is going to dramatically increase our model's coding ability faster than what others in the industry have the capability to do, who don't have thousands and thousands of extremely strong engineers at their company. So this is, again, exactly what I'm talking about, because these people are fucking psychopaths. The goal of AI is for rich people to access knowledge without having to pay the knowledge it deserves to get access. This is extremely fucking bleak. And why do these people just, every fucking one of these guys have no fucking riz? What is this?
Through these contractors. So if we're trying to teach the models coding, for example, then having people internally build tools that or solve tasks that help teach the model how to code, we think is going to dramatically increase our model's coding ability faster than what others in the industry have the capability to do, who don't have thousands and thousands of extremely strong engineers at their company. So
he's basically admitting that, like, hey, we're rich, we're one of the biggest companies on the planet, and we're going to use that to destroy everyone and everything in our path. That is not free markets. That is fucking monopoly. That's literally fucking monopoly, where they just have the power to just shuck your shit off the goddamn board and take over. And again, you'll be shocked to find out that Zuckerberg is also a do-nothing billionaire. He earned, yet again, Mark Zuckerberg reportedly took a $100,000 loan from his father to start Facebook. These people don't work. These people don't do anything. These people have contributed nothing. Everything at Meta is done because of the very people that he is now psychopathically bragging about using their ability to train his computers to now lay them off. This is truly dystopian hellscape shit, and there is no jail cell, there is no fucking black pit deep enough and dark enough, there is no solitary confinement boiling hot enough that Zuckerberg Zuckerberg should be rotting in. This is truly the end of everything if we don't destroy these people's plans completely, totally, thoroughly. And then Mark Cuban, as you saw, was Trump's latest fucking stooge for his goddamn prop at his stupid ass press conference. In other words, we need our brightest to teach AI faster so we can also get rid of our best and brightest. That's exactly it. It is intentionally done to replace us. So he sent Jordan Ohl, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, I think it's Ohl. Our API is public. Anyone can get, okay, that's not better. Anyone can get our prices and publish them. No money involved at any level. If you want to post our prices to your followers, I'll come on and thank you. Costplusdrugs.com. Yeah, so exactly. Cuban admits he won't do anything unless it's going to benefit him. He's not in this to help people. He's in this yet again to enrich himself. That's what all billionaires are. There are no good billionaires. And believe me, I understand the fucking weirdness that I'm now out here thinking about voting for Tom Steyer. Well, because all the other Democrats are avoiding the issue of prosecuting and abolishing ICE. Tom Steyer is taking the opposite stand. And then he's also in favor of taxing the rich, which of course Javier Becerra is not. I've said this before, but this is how populism, even if it's fake populism, if I turn out to vote for Tom Steyer and I'm wrong and he doesn't back up any of these things, well, guess what? Javier Becerra is no fucking better because he covered up for rapist cops and threatened to jail journalists who are going to expose them. He is against single payer. He is against billionaire taxes, and he takes bribes from fucking Chevron and openly brags about it. He has also said that immigrants should be treated and deported like a fucking assembly line. That is some MAGA Nazi bullshit. I'm never, ever voting for Javier Becerra. Do you think there's a difference between simply allowing them to use your API and appearing at an event and backslapping a guy who has directed lawless and armed federal agents to terrorize communities and is actively trying to subvert our democracy through disenfranchising black voters? Didn't have a fucking response for that, did he? Destroying lives for the lust of wealth. Yep, exactly. And this is what these data centers do. They don't actually contribute. What do they produce? They don't produce shit. They just produce a fucking hard-on for the billionaire class. They don't produce a goddamn thing other than AI slopaganda. And now it's threatening us in more ways than one. The next 10 in Santa Clara University report maps every known operating and planned data center in California, revealing a shift from traditional tech hubs into rural areas like the Central and Imperial Valleys, where water scarcity and social vulnerability converge. The study underscores systemic gaps in California's water governance, where fragmented permitting processes and absent disclosure rules leave communities in the dark about industrial water consumption. This situation complicates efforts to balance competing needs for residents, agriculture, ecosystems, and industry during dry years by pointing to potential local supply stress similar to past groundwater overdraft situations. The report adds urgency to integrating digital infrastructure into statewide water planning. They are literally trying to kill us. This is not a joke. We saw billionaires already killing us like this. Like this. And now they're trying to kill us in one of the most, I guess it's not maybe the most painful way, but it's a fucking miserable way by dying of dehydration. That's what they're trying to do. Texas faces water supply woes as big tech continues its slow start takeover. As data centers ramp up their presence in the Lone Star State, new research out of Texas's capital city is shedding more insight into just how much more water use these developments will need amid Texas's ongoing drought and water supply woes. The University of Texas at Austin shared new research earlier this month that revealed Texas's data center water use could make up to 3 to 9% of Texas's overall water use by 2040 as production ramps up statewide. This comes on top of a report that a data center in Lake Tahoe would cut power supply for the local residents. There's another power data center that's going to take more power than it requires to power Vegas. Las fucking Vegas, with all the bright lights and all the fountains and all the fucking the goddamn tram and everything else and the fucking spinning Ferris wheel of giganticism. This shit is going to take up more in that small amount of space than it would to power all of Las Vegas. You cannot tell me that these billionaires have not gone far and beyond. This was not enough for them. Profiting off the murder of their own employees is not enough for them. Now they are literally trying to build their product on our bones. That is what these billionaires are up to. Climate scientists shake their heads as first U.S. city running completely out of water. A massive drought coupled with political mismanagement might fully deplete water in a major city, neither in West Asia nor the Horn of Africa, but in the United States of America. According to Insight Climate News, the city of Corpus Christi, Texas, could soon completely out of water in the next year. It's the 8th largest city in Texas and a major industrial node in the Gulf Coast. Its water infrastructure provides access to over 500,000 Texans, as well as the major chemical plants, oil facilities, and plastics factories, which call the Gulf region home. So, again, Texas has been a huge hub for these data centers, and this is what they get. Now, what's gonna happen? They're talking about cutting. Let's see, where was it? Earlier this week, City Manager Peter Zannoni announced Corpus Christi will be forced to cut overall water consumption by 25%, nearly 60 million gallons a day, as soon as September. Now, this will affect. It'll be massive. It'll affect schools, hospitals, homeowners are forced to do without, to say nothing of commercial and industrial businesses. Commercial and industrial businesses won't have to do away with shit. It's we, the people, that will suffer. We, the people, are going to have to do these cutbacks. You think the data AI centers are going to face cutbacks? No, they fucking won't. You think the chemical plants that pollute our air are going to face cutbacks for their water? No, they fucking won't. You think the billionaires that live in Texas, you think Joe Rogan is going to have to cut back on his water consumption? No, they fucking won't. They fucking won't, but we will. Why the fuck are we allowing these billionaires to continue to walk on this planet unharmed? They need to be jailed. Every single one of them. They need to be punished. They need to be thrown behind bars. They do not belong on this planet. Jail them, arrest them, prosecute them, jail them, in that fucking order. Multiple ice warehouses were sold by people in Trump's circle who were sitting on the properties and losing money. We dug into it and found that some properties were bought by the feds at 10 times their list prices. New level of corruption, and you're paying for it. Yes, MAGA voters, this includes you. You may love because you get off because you're a tiny fucking inconsequential loser sitting behind a fucking keyboard that does nothing with your life. You may get off on these images of immigrants in these ICE facilities, but this does not do anything to improve your life. These ICE warehouses do nothing to improve your material conditions. You're not going to get a raise at work. You're not going to get more health care. You're not going to be able to afford a home. Your food prices are going to continue to go up. This does not benefit you in any way, shape, or form. You may get an emotional fucking trauma boner from it, and that's fucking it. I hope it's worth it, because while you're starving and drinking polluted fucking water, or not drinking water at all because the billionaires have used it all up, that's all you got to show for it. If you'd rather... This is why we cannot share space with Republicans and MAGA. Because if we were on a deserted island and we had to ration to survive, the Republicans would eat all the food themselves and kill anyone that tried to take it. That is the MAGA mentality. They are not there to work to produce a future. They are not there to make sure that other people are taken care of and get enough. They are there solely for themselves. Again, there is no coexisting with a fascist ideology like that. I do love this, though. On a lighter note, for some fucking reason, the governor of Louisiana, Jeff Landry, is walking through Nuuk, Greenland, while a woman carrying a blue flag follows the governor and shouts, "Don't come here, go home." I am assuming that's her. Doesn't look like it doesn't look like those two are with them. I mean, I think this is amazing that even across a fucking halfway across an ocean, these people are still unpopular. Word travels fast.
She wanted to know if you were famous. I said, well, I don't know if he's famous, but he's the governor of Louisiana.
You want to take a picture? No?
He's like, I'm good. She wanted to know if you were famous.
Dude thinks he's a celebrity. Like, yeah, I'll take a picture. No, that's actually okay. I'm good. It's like it reminds me of Avengers when they want to take a picture with Hulk. And then Ant-Man is like, do you guys want one with me too? It's like, we're here for a Hulk. And Hulk's like, no, come on, you guys, you want one with him. You want one? You want one? Yeah, you do, really? You sure? I'll take one with you. No? Okay, I'll take a picture with the kid. Okay, all right, yeah, dab. That's what it is. Jesus, so cringe. So this is yet another example of the Trump supporters of what we're up against. That's why I call all the MAGA supporters in my chat pedophiles, because we keep seeing this trend. This is not a one-off. There is a serious problem with pedophilia in the Republican pedo party. Why would that be? Could it be because their molester-in-chief is also a pedophile who is Jeffrey Epstein's best friend and who killed, murdered, ate, and raped babies? Yeah, I wonder if that's a fucking factor. Could it be that one of their biggest propagandists, Alex Jones, had child sex abuse material on his computer, which he turned over to the opposing counsel in his lawsuit for his being a fucking liar about Sandy Hook? This is why I consistently tell everyone to view Republicans as pedophiles until they are proven innocent. There is no assumption, there is no benefit of the doubt here, okay? There is no assumed innocent until proven guilty. Every Republican is a pedophile until they prove otherwise. Since I am self-funding my campaign, I don't have to worry about being politically correct. So they went onto his Facebook and they found him sharing love of Donald Trump. And this guy, again, not a trans person, clearly not a gay person. A gay person would have a better fucking beard than that. This is a Republican who raped his autistic 12-year-old daughter and then murdered her with pills. Anthony Federline was arrested 2 weeks after his 12-year-old stepdaughter was found dead in her bedroom on March 8th, according to a local outlet. Pills were found nearby the child's body, and a sexual assault kit discovered Federline's semen near her genital area. The child reportedly had autism. Federline was a bus driver, allowed to continue transporting students in the days leading up to his arrest. Why in the fuck would they allow that? Mr. Federline was removed from his position upon the district's notification of arrest. Prior to that time, the district was unaware that he was a person of interest. I mean, okay. Federline was charged with sexual assault of a child and risk of an injury to a child, but authorities specify that nobody has been charged in connection with the victim's death, which is amazing because you see, like, they found that he raped this girl, this child, and then she's dead. If this were any other ethnicity than a white MAGA-looking fuck, they would have charged him with fucking murder charges on the spot without even thinking about it. And if they had to drop the charges later, they would. But because this is what I'm talking about with white privilege. This is white fucking privilege. Anybody else under a different ethnicity, if they looked Muslim, if they were black, if they looked Hispanic, they would be charged with murder in a fucking heartbeat. But this guy, because he is the face of Timberjack fucking MAGA pedo country, he's not going to get charged with it. I love this shit too. Union hotel housekeepers in New York City will soon make over $100,000 a year. New contract, the unions and the owners of nearly 250 hotels would raise wages by more than 50%. If workers ratify the deal, it'll mean life-changing money to 27,000 union members and their families. Fucking yes! I am fucking here for it. I am here for every little bit of wages that go up. And these housekeepers bust their fucking ass. Anyone who disagrees with me, please, I fucking ask you to do a version of a police ride-along with the housekeeper and try to clean their rooms. Try to clean 2 rooms and tell me that you are not ready to pass the fuck out. These housekeepers work their ass off. And frankly, more money to them means less money for billionaire pedophiles like fucking Zuckerberg, like Bezos, who got nothing without stealing it first. I am absolutely in favor of this shit. All right, that's enough of the political talk. Time is for some fun shit. I love, this is one of my favorite videos.
Avengers!
Assemble.
There's an alternate version, which I think is better.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Holy shit, look at them all! Oh yeah, this is better. Also, why is she... I mean, I guess I see why she's ducking, but did she need to duck this soon? Like, she's ducking as if she's on a field of battle, like she's trying to get into a helicopter. Just fucking run. I mean, she's obviously trying to avoid...
Assemble.
Like, she's trying to avoid these flying chickens, I get it, but you had plenty of time. Fucking run. You can run faster if you're standing up. All right, I think I've shown this video, but I gotta show it again because I just fucking love it every time.
100% that me saw who and someone next to that guy, and now that guy is dead.
Me killed that guy for sure.
Who thinks who saw me?
Who?
No.
You see them?
Who saw someone and who saw me maybe?
What?
Who not
Me
sure.
saw who? Me saw who?
Dude, saw myself.
Me saw who?
So fucking good. God, I love the internet sometimes. Here's another reason to love the internet. And like he says, here's your moment of zen. That's fucking embarrassing. Now, from what I read, and I don't know how accurate this was, supposedly the driver was arrested, which, look, I'm all for arresting these Cybertruck drivers for anything, but I really don't see what it was for. Anyways, that's all the time I have for today. Oh, that was fun. I feel so much better yelling.